It's not always about the top tier picks, it's about the composition you build. And I look at these two drafts and I'm like, not sure about the compositions we've built. I mean, I like Dplus's comp more though. Yeah. This is kind of the way that if we go all the way back to, hold up, we're gonna have Shiu as a target of a dive.
Yep, level 4 gank this time around as Morgan is gonna be slicing over. Everyone's flashing for Shiu, who does shield himself up. He's still alive as Croco comes over and will be able to pick up the kill with the bleed. Still, that was a lot closer than I think a lot of people were expecting. Shiu going to try and keep himself alive on this wave, actually picking up so much of this farm before it does all go down, and he can then teleport back up.
Perfectly here for Dplus, where they get the dragon and get the lane swap during it, as Beryl just hangs around here for a moment and can go and rejoin.
Yep, the
Level
dangers
6.
of a lane freeze, which is obviously what Polo was looking for there by holding that wave. So they're going to be caught a little off guard as Shiu doesn't manage to get the knock up here. Aiming going to turn up.
Alive, by the way, and Dplus have a trap set here with Lucid.
Yeah, the flash forward, Chains of Corruption going to connect there, as well as the kitchen sink hits the Renekton. He slices and dices though, and Aiming has to flash, but he does pick up the first kill for DK. They heal to get themselves back out here as well, as Showmaker has started off these grubs, understanding that they have the man advantage for only 10 seconds time. A teleport can bring Morgan back in, but that may be enough time for DK to be able to lock at least one of these grubs down. Smite is going to be invested, and they are just going to get themselves out as Closer, holding onto the seismic shove, does find it here onto Showmaker in the end.
And Closer's Taliyah has been so insane this year. Like, he had so many great Taliyah games, whereas in the past it was such a weak point for him, champion-wise, in my mind. He did not, however, Weaver's Wall into that fight, try to turn it when Morgan was being focused.
The most impactful, but
Dplus, gonna need Shiu here if they're gonna fight for this.
Yep, they've got a lot of vision because they do, of course, still have that crab, but Croco gonna have to bounce over that wall, and now DK with full control of this area. Morgan, no teleport, no chance. And let's see whether Croco can actually make something happen. They engage on him, and that is how you blow up the Nefiri. You just kill him in one shot.
Or mind control him to look for a steal, yeah.
Something like that. Hextech Dragon is going to be the soul for this game as Shiu teleports back towards that top side. They had to sacrifice some plates for it. Have looked pretty good so far this series. I think if you're a Bro fan, first, get your Bro tax in. There's a button there for a reason. That's going to help Polo land things like this, as the exhaust going to be used on him there as well. As nice double knock-up. Beryl is going to die. Can they do some more work towards Showmaker as the curtain call underground?
Plus, like, if they get Soul Point here, they can kind of do whatever they want for the rest of the mid-game.
Ooh, Beryl. Deadly Flourish comes down again, and he's caught by another hook.
I see you, I see you!
Yeah. There was definitely a lot of CCU there.
And now they're just going to get this Herald, and because the Dragon doesn't spawn for 40 more seconds here, it's not like Dplus can make a trade for this. They either have to try to contest this Herald, or they're going to have to just regroup and maybe look for some vision on Dragon. Surely, right?
Lucid is wrapping around. They're looking for the poke damage, of course, with Avaris in here. It is a possibility, but there is a Renekton now channeling the teleport behind him, and now the engage onto Lucid. Can he actually get in here? I think it's a successful disengage thus far, but it is going to be the Rift Herald going over to the Bros. Now can they find the team fight? That's the question. Is Aiming having to deal with a crocodile on top of him, and he gets shoved right back into the melee. Now we do have the return of Beryl, but he's a little too late. It is going to be Lucid taking down the support, but I think he will be the sacrifice as there is a slice ready for Morgan, as Showmaker going to have to flash away. Shattering Strike from Beryl to try and save his mid laner, and Croco just gets Magnet Storm so that Showmaker can survive.
Right, so we're just putting all the buttons on cooldown, except Lucid's ult.
Oh, but that is going to be feats of strength over to the Bros.
Yeah, bro.
Unless Morgan just dies to the turret.
Oh my god.
That would have been feats of strength.
He doesn't have
still
TP.
Could be. How much health? How much health on that thing?
He doesn't have TP. They spent so much trying to kill Showmaker and fail. They spent so much trying to kill Sion.
They're going to teleport Closer up to at least lock down feats of strength. So there that is. I think that would have already happened, I think, to the minions, but that's totally fine. The Soul Point is going to be taken for free.
Yeah. Aiming in danger? Question mark? Maybe not.
Aiming in danger confirmed. Beryl may be more danger because he's just often in danger by existing on the map.
Bro, you were the Dragon team. Remember?
You were the chosen ones. You had the high ground.
I remember when Bro were the Kingslayers and they beat Dplus KIA and like,
hey,
all King Lava. And
okay, but they still do have a gold lead.
True.
They have feats of strength.
True.
They took the mid lane out of turret. They've done some stuff. They're landing every single shove. And Xiu is just dead. Xiu is also playing a tank. We haven't actually mentioned this, but he has struggled on the tanks so far here in the Rise group.
Well, you know the gift that keeps giving is I see you, I CC in this game. Like, it's actually wild. Like, we saw that flank from Lucid on the Herald earlier. They saw him. They CC'd him.
Yep.
And this just continues to be a thing. Sion, he takes a long time to kill, but they will CC him.
Well, oh, that hook was beautiful. And the follow-up is going to be there as well as the Nefiri grabs herself a kill onto the Foxy Lady. Closer is going to get exhausted, but Otacon here.
Okay, the turn has to be pretty crisp here. Showmaker has TP. They do not have vision, but they're very aware of this. TP from Barrel as well. They should be able to come for a contest, but like, they need to be faster about this.
Yeah, Hook is going to connect onto a wall here as Lucid, okay for the moment, does get over and does have to flash to get out of the way of the seismic shove. Magnetstorm pulling a couple of them in, but Beryl is still going to fall down. Palu flashes away to not suffer the same fate as the seismic shove is going to be avoided. Cease and desist as Lucid will trade his life, but this time Croco gets to go untargetable, and it is just kind of a disaster here for DK as Pro. They're seeing a target, and then they're CCing a target, and then they're killing a target.
This is the gift just keeps on giving with this comp. Like, you could just make it happen every single team fight. The wild thing about this is Bro actually make the decision to turn. They have Paulo set up, and like, I think old Bro might have just held the Otacon here and given Dplus an in, but they say no, we have a Talia, we have a Nautilus, and you know what, Atlas? Yeah, he's kind of flanking when he needs to be frontlining.
Yeah, and look, if you can actually dictate when the fights happen, that can work out, but now it's 34 petals to 3.
Oh, they didn't CC him!
We're going to all in onto Morgan, who does get on top of aiming. It looked a little scary for a moment, and in fact, it is. As is the Talia locking down a kill. Barrel's going to be the next one to die. Yes, you took down the Lord, but we will kill all of you as the revenge comes in from the Bros.
Not too much to write home about on its own, but the gold they picked up in the ensuing fight from the pick onto Morgan as 4 kills worth is definitely where they're going to be pointing their fingers here if you're looking at the game state to their 7,000 gold lead. We had one for Dplus. Hitbox to a seismic shove into all the other forms of damage. And Showmaker's caught again.
Yep, another hook. Palu is just going insane today. It's looking real good. The Magnetstorm is kind of decent here from Barrel, though. That will kill Croco as in goes Lucid. Now they're starting to get some of these resets for aiming as Closer the next one to be locked down, but they run out of damage, they run out of buttons, and they may run out of 80 carry as well as the curtain's thankfully going to get blocked by Lucid. Xiu does finally find himself in amongst the fray.
Winning the longer fight there, and will eventually get this turret. TP to help secure here for Paulo, and now they can wrap over towards it. Croco has respawned, and with all the vision they have.
1,000 gold lead, Wolf. It is still the circling of the drain here for DK. Seismic shove after the deadly flourish. You can fish for these all day on the side of the Bros, and now the curtains are going to be called. In goes the Scion, dead on arrival here, as we can see. Maybe the zombie can get some DPS happening, as Morgan is just going to melt aiming with basically just his ultimate. It's a quadra kill in the end for Hype. And if Morgan hadn't have just Dominus to kill aiming, that could have even been a penta, but that is going to be an ace here for the Bros. And I think a guaranteed best of 3, a guaranteed at least 4 games here on the day as the Bros just ran circles around DK this game.
Oh yeah, and Lucid was just a sandbag to be ripped apart in so many of these exchanges. And the Talia pick working a treat here. They did not trade it for Azir. They went for the Ahri Vi, and they just got dismantled. High volatility on the comp here for Dplus and Bro.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.